Hello, my name is Reyes Mata, and I'm the team leader of Team 5470 and the president of Mild Robotics. So a couple weeks ago, we had a outreach session with the Hindu temple here at El Paso, and we basically went over two things: airplanes and human programming. So I'm going to be doing a quick recap on airplanes, and I'm going to be going a little less in depth and easier to understand on how airplanes fly. So the reasons airplanes fly is because they have lift, and lift is created by high and low pressure. So the high and low pressure is created by the wings shape. The wings are shaped like this, which is called an airfoil. So what happens is when the air is going through and hits this airfoil, it splits off into two directions. So there's one in the bottom and one at the top. Now when it goes through the bottom, it has to cover a shorter distance. So there's more air here for the distance than there is up here, because you have a longer distance to go and that air has to be spread out over that longer distance. So you have a lower pressure up here and a higher pressure up here. What also happens is that the air up here is moving faster than the air down here. Now this happens because of the Bernoulli effect. Now basically there is more air up here, and when the air goes over here, it's creating this sort of pinch where the air is already up here. So it's like this wall and the air is being hit and squeezed into this smaller space here than the air down here, which is going relatively the same flow as the air on the bottom. So when you squeeze something, it tends to move faster. Similar to if you had like a water hose and you put your thumb on the nozzle, the water is going to come out harder and faster. So that's what happens here. The air starts moving faster. There's less air for area, and you're going to have a higher pressure down here and a lower pressure up here, which is going to cause it to move upward. Now that's how planes actually get off the ground. Now for controlling the airplanes, airplanes are controlled through different devices such as ailerons, elevators, and rudders. So ailerons are these little flaps on the front parts of the wings, which actually you see it sometimes when the plane's stopping. The ailerons will tilt, I believe, downward to try to slow the plane down by grabbing all that air, acting like a parachute. And these ailerons can also affect the lift. So similar to how we had it before, now if you add a little piece here that controls this way or this way, you can either increase the distance or you can shorten the distance this way. So you can get more lift by adjusting your aileron. Now with the rudder, you can control which the rudder is the back part of the plane. It's like an aileron for the back part of the wings. So the wings back here have these not rudders, elevators. So that controls your nose. So say the elevator was tilted down this way, the air is going to hit and it's going to push it upward. So it's going to move the nose of the plane down like this. And if it moves up, the air is going to hit and push it downward, and it's going to move the nose of the plane up. Rudders do basically the same thing, but for left and right. So if you have a rudder and you place it this way, the air is going to hit it and push the plane this way. And if you have it facing the other way, the air is going to come hit it and push it this way. So that's how planes are able to control their direction in the air. So let's go into some airplanes you can make on your own. So here we have paper, and we're going to make a simple paper airplane. So I'm going to go a little bit quickly through this. Okay, so we're going to be folding the paper airplane. So here we have a sheet of paper that already folded, so it already has the marks and everything. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be folding it portrait in half. So there. Try to get the creases as symmetrical as possible. And then you're going to open it back up, and you're going to fold like you would with a normal paper airplane, the sides to the center, bottom side to the center, and again try to get it as symmetrical as possible. Then you're going to fold this top part up to the middle of the line, and you're going to get about ½ an inch from the tip of the triangle fold to the bottom of the crease. And then you're going to fold from the tip to the center of the line, making it so that you have a perfectly straight crease here at the tip on both sides. Remember, get it as straight and symmetrical as possible. Then with that, you're going to fold another triangle with bringing these edges to the center of the line. So you're going to create a fold like that. Try to get it as straight as possible. And then you're going to fold this tip of the corner up to the center of the line, about an inch, inch and a half away from the first tip. And then you're going to fold it in half like that. And then you're going to crease them down so you get a normal paper airplane like this. You should be good there. Okay, so the tail. Now the tail is going to add a little bit more stability because this flying through the air is going to be very front heavy, and it's going to tend to dip down. So if we have something stabilizing it over here, it's going to fly much, much smoother. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to fold this piece of paper to about 1/3. And we're actually going to cut this piece. So we're going to do that by drawing a line where we created that crease. So there, we have our line. Now we're going to use our scissors. And you can just tear it if you fold it enough times. But we have scissors, so we're going to use them. So we use our scissors to cut there. Now we don't need this piece of paper anymore, this one. So we're going to put that off to the side, and what you're going to do with this is you're going to fold this one in half. Remember, try to keep it as symmetrical as possible. So there. And then we're going to fold a piece in, just a little bit to about an inch in. You're going to crease, trying to keep it as symmetrical as possible, and then we're going to draw out how we want our wing to look, or our tail to look. So I kind of want a little bit of a beveled out tail here, and I want it to swoop so that it looks a little more natural. So I'm going to cut it out like that. Okay, so that's our tail, and then we're going to fold the back part here. Again, as symmetrical as possible. Last thing to do is get your wing, or not your wing, your airplane and your tail, and you're going to insert the tail under the bottom triangle fold. Just push it in, and then you're done with your paper airplane.